Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are some of our Toolbox Buzz tool reviews. This past summer, we reviewed the Ryobi 48V HP 54-inch zero-turn electric mower. The review took all summer long, included 2 different mowers being reviewed simultaneously both by Todd in New Hampshire and Wes down in Connecticut, and obviously different properties. If you'd like to learn more about these in-depth review that we did, go to the website toolboxbuzz.com. All the specs, all the nitty-gritty details are there. All right, look, so when this mower arrives, it gets drop shipped to you, and it comes in a metal shipping crate, and it does require some assembly. You know, basic assembly. I'm talking primarily the handlebars and the seat, and it's easily done with the provided tools that come with it, but also an impact wrench and socket set will greatly speed up that process. So Wes tested his mower primarily on a 2.3 acre property that was previously maintained by a 54-inch gas-powered zero-turn. However, the Ryobi took over this task upon its arrival. In addition, Wes's wife gladly took over the responsibility of cutting the grass. She was intrigued by this mower, and she didn't want to deal with the gas. It became a welcome escape for her as well, because she's working from home during COVID and for the majority of the last year or so, and she was able to get outside and do some fun stuff. So the majority of the feedback will come from her first-hand experience with this mower as well. So thank you to her for the help on this. Todd obviously provided feedback as well as Wes. As far as standout features, there's a 54-inch steel cutting deck made from 10-gauge welded steel. Easily levels. It is extremely durable feature on the mower because it adds strength to the durability of the machine and the structure. The majority of homeowner machines that you deal with have stamped steel decks, which are far more prone to bending and damage. There is an unbelievable amount of storage on this mower around you while you're using it. The left side has 2 deep cup holders as well as a storage compartment with a spring-loaded lid. The right side has an additional storage compartment with a spring-loaded lid as well on that side. Now, these compartments are large enough for things like big phones and other devices. Wes's wife was a fan of these compartments. Wes was not. Wes didn't really find a need for it, maybe the cup holder, but she reminded us that women's pants or leggings typically don't have pockets. So those compartments would hold a cell phone. There also is a single 1 amp USB charging port with a spring-loaded cover as well on the right side of the console. And Todd found that useful because he lives in a rural area and his phone is always roaming and it eats up battery. So charging while mowing was useful for him. So he liked the USB charging port. Okay, in the floorboard there on the center, there's a large manual brake pedal. It's in the center of the deck. It worked really well for slowing the machine down, going down hills, or for sudden, quick stops, just like a car. Additionally, it works as a parking brake. All of the controls in the Ryobi were simple and intuitive to use. The PTO control is a large upward pull knob. That design is consistent with operation of traditional mowers, like a gas-powered mower. Individually, the push-button controls like the LED light bar, as well as the lower speed drive and the cut modes, all easy to use and accessible. A large battery gauge clearly displays the battery power level. Now let me see. The deck height adjustment is adjusted with a large manual lever, and we found it easy to use and move even while seated. There are a total of 12 cutting heights from 1.5 inches all the way up to 4.5 inches, and adjusting the decks is relatively easy, but it could be a better experience if those detents were labeled. Let's talk about speed. This mower is fast. The top speed is 7 miles an hour during travel or cutting. There are separate brushless electric motors attached to each rear wheel. And while 7 miles an hour may not be the fastest mower on the market, the responsiveness and on-demand torque that give the operator an experience that is just unmatched. So I guess the power and speed are instantaneous, right? It's from the second the controls are touched or moved, this thing goes. And this is I would say there's zero lag or zero delay, and it's very similar to sitting in an electric car and experiencing that torque when you punch that pedal, the gas pedal to the floor, the power pedal. But the on-demand speed is also somewhat of a hindrance, and I want to talk to you about that. If you're not careful with this mower, it's extremely easy to whip the mower from side to side during tight turns, similar to, say, oversteering a skid steer machine or something like that. Oversteering with the Ryobi will cause burnout spots on your lawn as well and damage the grass. Be careful of that. The lower speed setting on this mower will also limit the speed to 5 miles an hour, and that can reduce the possibility of that effect I was just talking about. Also, the quality of cut on this mower, it's great. We had a good experience with it. There are 3 cutting blades, each with its own electric motor. The cutting quality is definitely better at lower speeds, and that's a huge factor in the cut quality on this machine. The lower speed gives a better cut quality. The blade speed just can't match the speed of the mower up at 7 miles per hour. There is a side dispatch chute off the cutting deck, and it does a really good job at broadcasting those clippings, and it keeps the deck clear of any debris. There is a bagging attachment that you can buy separate from Ryobi, and I'll talk about that at the end when we talk about cost. Let's talk about steep hills and zero turns, because they were not a great pairing for this machine. Unfortunately, zero-turn mowers are inherently prone to flipping over or on steep grades, and it's due to their design. But the Ryobi was no exception, and that's due to its weight distribution, we think, and operator position. There is a true risk of tipping backwards if you attack a hill head-on. A controlled downhill cut is a much safer tactic, we feel, and but that also presents some issues as well. The mower, when you're trying to control the speed going down that hill, wants to move forward while it gains momentum from the weight of the machine. Wes found that he needed to pull backward on the control levers aggressively to slow the mower down. And while doing this, the drive system actually would shudder a little bit and continue going forward, which we felt was a little bit of a malfunction going on. So to reset this, Wes found the controls would have to be brought back to neutral, reset it, and then he'd have to pull backwards again. Now this process often caused the wheels to lose traction, spin out, or lock up and slide, and that would cause those burnouts in the grass I talked about. This issue only occurred during downhill cutting on steep grades. Now, one of the best parts of that we do, or we think we do on the website here, is our ability to be able to reach out and have conversations with manufacturers. So the Toolbox Buzz crew brought this concern to Ryobi, and we met with their project management team. They shared with us that the steering issue is likely the result of a built-in failsafe to preserve the battery system. They also informed us that they are working on an improvement to fix this in the next gen, which is coming out pretty soon, actually. All right, when climbing steep slopes, the mower seemed to lack sufficient power, in our opinion. This is odd because this mower just eats up. It churns through some incredibly thick grass, powerful cutting. When we inquired about why the mower struggled on the slopes, we were told it's a balancing act basically between power demand, which is amp draw, on the batteries, as well as keeping the batteries in that safe zone, not overheating and not draining or over causing damage. In Todd's yard, he has 30-degree slopes that he has to mow. So while the mower was able to climb the slope, it definitely was pushing it. It was at the top of its range for that. And we suspect newer versions of this type of mower will greatly benefit from, say, upgrading to lithium-ion batteries instead of the lead core ones that are used right now in this version. All right, so look, how long did these lead core batteries last? Now, according to Ryobi, the 48-volt HP zero-turn mower will cut up to 3.5 acres on a single charge. Now, this capability is possible thanks to a huge 115 amp hour battery system that I mentioned earlier. It runs, it's underneath the seat. Now, Wes's lot is 2.3 acres in total, and it's level. And under regularly maintained dry grass cutting conditions, Wes was able to get 1 3/4 cuts per charge. It's pretty good. He also experienced a somewhat compromising performance cutting on a partially charged battery. And what he saw was, starting at a 40% charge, cutting a week's worth of regular growth, the battery would drop to 5% charge in 32 minutes, which is faster than a fully charged battery. At 5% life, the cutting deck would automatically just shut off, and it just means enough power to get the lawnmower back to an outlet to charge, which I actually like that feature. Now, Todd has 1 1/3 acre, and it's mostly sloped. he's able to mow his entire yard on approximately 85% of a battery charge, leaving about 15% at the end. The large battery inverter that Ryobi includes to charge the 48 volt HP system features a 60 hertz of output. Now the charging port is located on the rear of the mower behind the seat. A completely depleted battery system requires about 10 to 12 hours to fully charge. Now Ryobi is offered exclusively at Home Depot, and at the time of this video, the 54-inch mower retails for $4,599. That is a serious price tag, but this is a serious piece of outdoor power equipment. The optional side shot bag that I talked about, the bag assembly, that's going to cost $349. Now, even at base pricing, the Ryobi comes in at the same price as an entry-level commercial gas zero-powered mower. The Ryobi warranty covers this mower for 3 years and the batteries for 1 year. The question I got to ask is this high price worth it? I can't really answer that in a general blanket statement. The mower is the future, right? That 4K that you're buying is giving the end user a front row seat to the future of lawn care and OPE, outdoor power equipment. The ease of maintenance, zero emissions, incredible performance capability, and unbelievably quiet operation, electric motors, all make the initial expense easy to justify, in our opinion. As much as we enjoyed using the Ryobi, though, during our testing, there were several areas that we feel need to be improved. The first being the overall size and balance of the mower. So all 4 batteries are located under the operator, under the seat. So this shortens the wheelbase of the mower and concentrating the majority of the weight at the back of the machine where you're sitting, with the same area as the driver's seat. This places the operator higher up in an area, and basically, I guess the end result is that it's a pretty rough ride. So, for example, Wes's wife constantly described the Ryobi as bouncy. Now, it's an excellent and smooth ride when you're going over flat ground, but when you hit dips and divots and things, it's a hard ride. It's a 796 pounds. The Ryobi is heavier than our 52-inch gas zero turn. And in spite of that, it still feels top heavy and awkward. So, and again, mostly on slopes and inclines and divots and stuff. Now, the handlebar construction on this unit has some shortcomings. The control bars mount via 2 bolts, and it allows for some adjustability and pivoting for individual users for adjustability. Now, those bolts, they loosened up several times on us over the testing, compromising the ability to control the machine basically properly. It became enough of a reoccurring issue that we checked the bolts every time we used it and took the machine out. The issue even occurred after we used some thread locking compound, which was kind of a disappointment. I would happily sacrifice the adjustability for solid, secure handlebars. Ryobi told us they're addressing this in the future, and they will assess that and address it on future releases. Okay, guys, look, overall impression, the Ryobi's new 48-volt HP 54-inch zero-turn mower, it's a quantum leap forward in the future of lawn care. The mower is quiet while cutting. The decibel output is like 80 decibels, somewhere in that vicinity. And when considering the quiet engine noise, the speed, and the power that this mower gives you, along with reduced emissions, maintenance, no gas, oil, we believe that Ryobi and cordless mowers in general will be the future of lawn care. While this machine is not designed for or built really for commercial use, it will serve a demanding homeowner as well as a landowner exceptionally well, someone who's got some yard to mow. Well, that's it for the review, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. We love hearing from you. And please subscribe right there and hit that notification bell. Don't forget to follow Toolbox Buzz and Concord Carpenter on Instagram. I'm Rob Robillard. We'll see you next time. Take care.